Okay, class, today we'll be learning about equations of lines in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So today, we're going to start with the familiar equation. We remember that m represents slope and b equals represents the y-intercept. So now, I also want you to remember this old formula. Y equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And that works if you have any two given points. Notice I labeled them x1, y1, and x2, y2. That's just like point 1 and point 2. So now, let's start with an example. Write the equation of the line with the given slope and y-intercept. I always like to write down the basic form, y equals mx plus b. And now just plug in the given information. The slope goes here, the y-intercept goes here. Boom, y equals negative 2x plus 1/2. And it's absolutely that easy. Let's look at another example. Write the equation of the line that passes through the given points. Here, we need that equation that I just gave you, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So now we're looking at this being x1, y1, x2, y2. And so I'm going y2 minus y1, 4 minus 1 over x2 minus x1, 0 minus a negative 5. Watch that double negative sign. So I'm looking at 3 over a positive 5 for my slope. Now, I need to figure out what my y-intercept is. A y-intercept always happens when x is 0. So if x is 0, this is our y-intercept. And we can see that clearly on a graph. The y-intercept simply means where does the point or where does this intersect the y-axis. So for example, if that's 1, that would be over 0 up 1. Notice x is always 0 for any point on the y-axis. So, with that being said, this is my y-intercept. And therefore, b equals 4. So now I know the slope and the y-intercept, and I can write my equation. Y equals mx plus b. That's my m, and that's my b. Boom. We could hit the button. That was easy. Example 3. Write a linear function with the given values. I would like to jog your memory from algebra. Sometimes equations are written like y equals mx plus b, but we also have it where you would see this function notation, y equals mx plus b. This means exactly the same thing. So what I'm trying to tell you is these are interchangeable, or we could even say f of x equals y, or y equals f of x. So when we look at these statements, f of 0 equals 6, 6, then I can see x is simply 0 and y is 6. So this just gives us two ordered pairs, and we can proceed just like before. Finding the slope, 3 minus 6, negative 1 minus 0. And we get negative 3 over negative 1 equals 3. And then I know my slope, and guess what? X is 0, so this is a y-intercept. B equals 6. Y equals mx plus b. Boom, done. Final example for this lesson. Write the equation of the line that passes through -2, -3, and 4, -5. So again, we're going to start out by finding the slope. 5 minus a -3. Watch those signs. And try to resist the urge to do things in your head. That's when you lose signs. 8 over 2 is 4. So my slope is 4. And, oh no, we don't have a y-intercept. So now we must find the y-intercept. See, nowhere up here do we have an x equal to 0. So we have to find it. So the way we're going to do that is by starting with the equation y equals mx plus b. And we're going to plug in everything except for b. So what I like to do is pick a point. I'm going to just use the first point, why not? And let this be my x and y. So now y is -3, m is 4, and x is 2. We know everything except for the b. So now I have -3 equals 8 plus b. Subtract 8 from both sides, and b equals -11. So now I'm ready. Y equals mx plus b. And I know my m is 4, and my b is -11. Notice that I didn't say plus -11. I just made it -11. It's the same thing.